This is where Rebecca lived. You know, her and her dad lived here, and after the divorce, things just went downhill. He just went crazy, and they said that she committed suicide, but that's not what happened. She wouldn't do that. Rebecca wouldn't do that.
No, she wouldn't.
She wouldn't do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go inside and we're gonna check this out.
I met Rebecca in high school, 9th grade. She was a quiet girl. I loved her to death though. I just still can't believe this is happening, you know?
She was my best friend. She had this nice personality. I would never think she'd kill herself. I know we're gonna get to the bottom of this because she didn't kill herself.
Hi, Rebecca. This is for you.
Is the door locked?
There has to be another way. Like a crack.
How are we gonna get in?
It's not locked, it's jammed.
I don't see anything behind it.
Push it. That works. Ladies first.
Okay.
Oh, this is creepy. Why is it?
Okay. So,
It's freezing in here.
if you guys remember, this house is very large. And, lots of rooms. So we should maybe split up?
I think we should stay together.
Yeah, we should stay together.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've seen way too many horror movies.
I remember this from. It's right here.
So creepy.
It is. It looks so different.
Here's a picture. You remember this picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
Still can't believe it.
She's such a beautiful girl, man.
This house feels so different. This one's nice.
Oh my god.
What is this stuff?
What happened in here? We gotta find evidence. Yeah.
You guys gotta hear that.
I know I wasn't the only one who heard that.
No. Let's go. It came from down the hallway.
Well, somebody gotta go and check.
I'm not sure.
Definitely not me.
I think
No
we.
way.
Guys,
What is that?
guys, somebody gotta go. I'm not going and check.
You hear that? What's that? You hear that, guys? It came from that hallway.
What was that?
I don't know. What was that? I don't know. The door just
Closed by itself, man.
I heard it.
We need to
I heard it.
This is way too
I heard
hard
it.
for
We
me.
need to get the hell out of here.
You guys heard that, right?
Yes,
I
I
know.
did. You guys to the door? We need to go.
What was that? What was that?
Can we just get out of here, please?
What the heck was that?
Just get off me, guys.
It could have been an animal. Maybe it's just an animal. It could have just. It could have just been some kind of animal, raccoon or a possum or a rat, maybe a big rat. I don't know.
I'll admit, guys, I'm kind of scared. I'm scared too.
Out of nowhere, things like that don't happen, man.
I keep possums. They crawl in. Rats. Shh. Man, why are we here?
Okay,
I don't
Okay,
want to
guys.
hear it.
We gotta do this. We're gonna keep walking around.
We're going to her room. But that's where it happened.
Don't split up. We're supposed to stay together.
I don't think they even cleaned after this.
Stuff everywhere. You guys see anything?
There's nothing in here.
There's not gonna
Let's
be
keep
nothing.
moving to her room.
Is that hers?
This is hers.
She loved this thing.
Someone's here.
Wait,
What do you see?
What is it?
What do you see?
where's Mike?
Where's Mike?
Oh my god, no one.
Mike.
Guys. Oh my god. We're gonna look for him.
Oh my god! Where's Mike?
Still got no service, guys.
We'll try to get to the road.
Okay. All right.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Jenny, where are you? Jenny. Jenny, where are you?
Thing that has left its parents completely disturbed. This footage was taken in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, this happens. A child is woken up late at night and does something that has left its parents completely disturbed. This footage was taken in the middle of the night when all of a sudden,
this happens. Somehow, the child maintains a perfect balance as it reaches out towards something. Viewers believe that it's reaching out to a paranormal entity inside the room. Whether it's malicious or not is unknown, but given the situation the child is in, some believe that a sinister presence was responsible for the child's behavior. Although we don't know for sure if it's something paranormal, the piercing scream of the child is without a doubt pretty chilling. Not much else is known about the video, but the footage itself is enough for us to know that what happened that night is beyond strange. A man is woken up by a mysterious noise when something very strange is caught on camera. This video was posted about 9 months ago, and the person who recorded this says that while spending the night at his aunt's house, which is very old, unusual events took place. This is the video he took.
I'm still hearing voices. Jesus Christ! I hear knocking again. Oh my God.
A child's voice is heard close to the camera. In a frantic motion, the person recording fled from the room and headed straight to his car upon hearing whispers coming out of nowhere. Not much else is known about the video, which makes it even more mysterious. But even without it, the encounter itself is scary alone. A security guard named Simon Lockhart works the night shift at a hotel. The hotel is believed to be haunted, as there have been multiple reports of paranormal sightings. One night, while being on duty, Simon checks on a noise that seems to be coming from an attic space inside the hotel. He goes in and encounters something pretty strange. Watch.
I'm over at the restaurant right now that's connected to our hotel. The door's been wide open. And they said they've seen lights going on and off in here. This is the attic area. Very, very narrow stairs. I just smashed my head on this freaking pipe. Hello? Oh my. There's no one here. There's no one here. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay. I'm out. I'm out. Okay. Just leave me alone.
Simon was immediately rushed to the hospital after falling from the attic. He says that an unseen force had tugged on his shirt, but has no clue as to what exactly touched him. Even more strange is that before the so-called accident, he heard a clear voice say "get out" as soon as he entered the attic. Viewers believe that a spirit dwells inside and was upset with Simon for coming in. Simon agrees, as the attack was similar to that of someone who encounters a trespasser. This video was taken over a year ago, and it seems that paranormal activity still occurs at this hotel. Yet, Out of all paranormal experiences Simon has had, this one has got to be the scariest.
But what he captures leaves him deeply unsettled.
This next video comes from a man named Brandon Costa, who was woken up by a strange noise outside his room. He proceeds to take out his phone and record the strange event, but what he captures leaves him deeply unsettled. Now, according to Brandon, he had played with the Ouija board a few days before. Because of this, he believes that what happened that night was paranormal in nature. All in all, this incident has spooked him to his core.
Ay, cabrón. No manches. ¿Qué era eso? No. Ay, no manches.
Eerily enough, a face can be seen peeping at Brandon before disappearing from sight. But, scariest of all, the bedroom door suddenly closes on its own. Given that Brandon had played with the Ouija board before this, viewers aren't surprised that this happened. But still, what he encountered is absolutely terrifying.
It's worth noting that this incident took place at exactly 3:33 a.m.
This next video has very little information, but it still speaks for itself. A child is seen sleeping in their crib, when all of a sudden, something pretty creepy is caught on camera. It's worth noting that this incident took place at exactly 3:33 a.m., which many people believe means something. Whether it signifies something good or bad, the incident itself is pretty strange. The child is sleeping when this happens. For some mysterious reason, the child wakes up and then quickly stands before staring at something in the room. They stare at whatever it is that's in the dark, when seconds later, a toy or some sort of music box goes off by itself. Then, without warning, the crib shakes on its own. No other information is given on this video, and the original source is unknown, but I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusions on this footage. The following footage was shot by someone who in the video seems to be taking in the view of the river before them. All appears to be normal until the camera catches something in the distance. Upon zooming in, it becomes apparent that whatever was caught on camera had most likely ruined the mood of the person recording. Now there isn't that much info on the clip, but it still speaks for itself. This is what was captured.
Domingo, curtindo uma cachoeira em Lisque, Rio de Janeiro. Reparem no visual, na mata. Agora o melhor de tudo é essa queda d'água. Muita água. Muita força. Uhul! Ih, caraca! Uma coisa ali. Caraca, apareceu um cara ali no meio da água. Mozinho! Mozinho, você viu o cara no meio da água? Caraca! Ali, mozinho!
Not too far from the camera, there seems to be someone or something bathing in the roaring rapids of the river. After being splashed by countless river waves, the figure all of a sudden vanishes. It's as though the waves had washed away the shadowy form, but then suddenly, it comes back for a split second before being taken away by the river again. Now, even if we don't know what the person behind the camera is saying, we can hear it in their voice how surprised they are by the strange figure in the distance. Unfortunately, the lack of info on this video makes it likely that we'll never know for sure who or what was seen.
Comments that it came from someone who's been dealing with unusual occurrences at home. They placed the camera.
As with most videos found online, this next one has little to no information. It is still nonetheless very strange. Although not enough context is given on the clip, a viewer of the video comments that it came from someone who's been dealing with unusual occurrences at home. They placed the camera inside their bedroom to capture the strange events that often happen inside. It appears to be late at night when the following happens. Watch.
The man is suddenly lifted off the bed as though something is pulling him upwards from his feet.
The man is suddenly lifted off the bed as though something is pulling him upwards from his feet. In a panic frenzy, the man scoots all the way over to the other end of the bed, seemingly trying to make sense of what just happened. The video then cuts to black. The lack of a backstory to this video keeps it shrouded in mystery, making it a bit harder to know what exactly occurred. But what's your stance on this? Real or not? I'll let you be the judge.
In a recent video, Zoe shared that one of her pigs had given birth to a pair of baby.
Zoe, Bruno, and her family live on a farm that they believe is haunted. Based on videos that Zoe has posted, viewers believe that it's not just haunted, but also cursed. In a recent video, Zoe shared that one of her pigs had given birth to a pair of baby pigs born with unusual deformities. Unfortunately, they were born dead. Now, this was unlike anything the family has ever seen. Because of this, along with other strange occurrences, they believe that something very odd is happening on their farm. But then one night, something really terrifying was caught on camera. Zoe's sister was home alone when she heard weird noises coming from the pig stable outside. She began to record immediately. This is what was caught.
Hola chicos, estoy grabando este video porque mi papá y mi mamá se fueron a comprar una cosa en el almacén y mi hermano Seban está en la pieza, pero yo sentí olorado por acá. No sé qué está pasando, pero quiero tratar de grabar. ¡Ah! Miren eso. ¡Ah! ¡Ah!
If you look close enough, you can see what appears to be a face peeping from behind a wooden post. Whoever, or whatever this is definitely unsettling to look at. Naturally, Zoe's sister had reacted the way she did. She's alive and well.
If you look close enough, you can see what appears to be a face peeping from behind a wooden post. Whoever, or whatever this is definitely unsettling to look at. Naturally, Zoe's sister had reacted the way she did. She's alive and well, but mentally, she is not okay, for what she'd seen in the stable has left her shaken up. Her family has no idea as to what she'd seen, but viewers seem to think that it was something supernatural. Until Zoe posts more footage, we won't know for sure what this was. Currently, there has yet to be an update on this whole incident.
But after the following incident, it seems that he's already made up his mind. It's late at night.
A man named Jacob lives in a house that he recently inherited from his grandmother. Jacob isn't too sure if he wants the house, as it's out of shape and requires a lot of fixing. But after the following incident, it seems that he's already made up his mind. It's late at night when Jacob wakes up to a noise inside his bedroom. This is what he caught.
I just heard knocking from the closet.
A knocking sound can be heard coming from the closet. However, when he checks inside, nothing is in there. But then, moments later, loud banging can be heard from the other side of the room. Clearly, Jacob was spooked out of his mind. Yet something else happened that Jacob didn't realize until rewatching this video. At the start of the clip, the clown doll on top of the drawer can be seen staring at the bed, but then later, it is seen staring at the door. Ever since seeing this, Jacob has moved the doll downstairs to the living room. He states that it came alive that night and is glad that he caught evidence of it. Although pretty spooky, the video remains a mystery. But thanks to this incident, Jacob has made up his mind on whether or not he should keep the house. Overall though, what happened that night has left him beyond terrified. When it comes to videos on poltergeist activity, it seems that the most believable ones are those in which the video was initially recorded for a different reason. In this case, YouTuber Mowgli85 was recording the trailer for the Simpsons movie from the film's official website for the sole purpose of uploading the trailer to his channel. However, while videotaping the trailer, something pretty creepy happens.
This summer, between honor and dishonor, between family and enemies, between July and August, a line will be drawn and then colored in yellow. Run! Jump! Jump! Run! I know we've had a rough day, but we can put all that behind us. On July 27th, a secret will be revealed. Look at that. You can see the 4 states that border Springfield. Wow. That Maine and Kentucky. Oh, yeah. The Empire will comes to play this disc. Supply your town with color. Releases now. Just gotta go into your heart. You will find the answer.
Now, after rewatching the video,
Out of nowhere, things begin to move on their own. Now, after rewatching the video, viewers had pointed out that the Ouija board in the corner of the room might be the reason as to why all this is happening. According to Mowgli, he'd been playing with it prior to this incident. So, according to viewers, it makes sense that something like this would occur. But what do you think? Is this actual footage of something paranormal? Or is it simply a video that's been staged? There has yet to be a definitive answer to this question.
for this reason, James had bought the doll. However, ever since bringing it home, strange things have been
The following video comes from James Fodder, who recently bought a doll from a secondhand store. Apparently, the doll is worth a lot more than what the store was selling it for. For this reason, James had bought the doll. However, ever since bringing it home, strange things have been happening. From hearing strange noises at night to seeing doors open and close on their own, James suspects that the doll might be responsible for the unusual activity. And so, he decides to record the doll in front of a camera inside an empty room. He hopes to capture footage of something that would prove it's haunted. Initially, nothing odd is captured in the first few days of recording, but then, one night, something very strange happens. Now the camera that he uses is programmed to move wherever it picks up movement, so if something moves, it will point to that object. We can see it doing that in this footage, but strangely, the camera pans around the room as though it's picking up movement from somewhere. This is what was captured.
Could it be that the camera is detecting an unseen presence? Or is it just not functioning properly? Although it's likely that there's a problem with the camera, something really creepy happens 2 nights later inside the room, which has made him think the camera was actually picking up something.
Could it be that the camera is detecting an unseen presence? Or is it just not functioning properly? Although it's likely that there's a problem with the camera, something really creepy happens 2 nights later inside the room, which has made him think that the camera was actually picking up something. James is away from home when the following happens. He writes, "Just wow, I've been leaving the closets open in case anyone thinks I'm hiding inside. I don't even know what to say." This is what was captured.
Out of James's bathroom comes out what appears to be a dark, shapeless figure. It seems to dart across the floor before disappearing from sight. James believes that this may have been the apparition that was being picked up earlier by the camera. He also thinks that this mysterious figure might
Out of James's bathroom comes out what appears to be a dark, shapeless figure. It seems to dart across the floor before disappearing from sight. James believes that this may have been the apparition that was being picked up earlier by the camera. He also thinks that this mysterious figure might be attached to the doll. Ever since then, he's been filming more at night. Little does he know that he'd be capturing something way more terrifying than this. James is sleeping in his room upstairs when the following happens.
On camera, the doll moves on its own. It appears to move for just a few seconds before abruptly stopping. Feeling very unsettled, James posts the footage online to see if anyone could explain this video. It's not sure if he'll continue to hold on to this doll based on what occurred.
On camera, the doll moves on its own. It appears to move for just a few seconds before abruptly stopping. Feeling very unsettled, James posts the footage online to see if anyone could explain this video. It's not sure if he'll continue to hold on to this doll based on what occurred, but it might be best if he keeps it locked up inside this room, as an occurrence like this definitely warrants it.
When something downright terrifying is captured. It's around midnight when this is filmed.
This next video was submitted by Aaron Tipsy, who states that a friend of his had sent him a creepy video. In it, Aaron's friend can be seen sleeping inside their bedroom when something downright terrifying is captured. It's around midnight when this is filmed.
What better way to induce insomnia than by watching a video like this? Now it's worth mentioning that the same video can be found on TikTok. However, the context given for that video is different from the one that was submitted to me. Aaron states that his friend has no recollection of
What better way to induce insomnia than by watching a video like this? Now it's worth mentioning that the same video can be found on TikTok. However, the context given for that video is different from the one that was submitted to me. Aaron states that his friend has no recollection of ever doing this in their sleep, whereas the one on TikTok states that they were fully conscious when they did this. Whether conscious or not, the imagery of this video is still nonetheless pretty disturbing. All in all, this video is a great source of nightmare fuel.
Due to travel restrictions affected by COVID, the salesman had self-quarantined for a total of 7 days.
A salesman stays at a hotel and captures footage of something pretty disturbing. The following video comes from a salesman who was traveling overseas for a business trip. Due to travel restrictions affected by COVID, the salesman had self-quarantine for a total of 7 days. His self-quarantine took place at a hotel where he booked a room all for himself, but during the 7 days that he's there, something really creepy happens. On the second night of his quarantine, the salesman is talking to a friend via webcam when all of a sudden, this happens.
マジで
After checking
なんか部屋間違え
the
たんじゃない
door, the salesman returns to his seat, seeming unfazed by the mysterious
まあ、
knock.
飯の
Chalks
時
into a
は
hotel employee
ノックされ
who
るよ。
accidentally knocked on the wrong door.
隔離はいつ
A
ま
few
で
minutes pass, and the conversation between the two then segues to the topic of food served.
After checking to see who was knocking at his door, the salesman returns to his seat, seeming unfazed by the mysterious knocks. He chalks it up to a hotel employee who might have accidentally knocked on the wrong door. A few minutes pass, and the conversation between the two then segues to the topic of food served at the hotel. But as they continue to talk, something shakes up the salesman.
おー。アジア料理が多いな、やっぱ。
また聞こえたの。
また
今録画してるまだ。
してる。
あ、ちょっと待って。
何してんのその強盗とかだったらやばいんじゃない？
まあ、証拠取れ。
まあ、証拠ちょっとフリーズしてるけど、証拠取れなくない？あ、大丈夫。いないじゃん。誰もいない。
誰もいないし。
It is at this moment when his friend thinks that a next-door neighbor is playing tricks on him. Yet the salesman isn't sure if anyone is
前の部屋のやつがなんかいたずらでやってんじゃない？
he is in might be haunted. The salesman doesn't think much of this and decides to go to bed.
It is at this moment when his friend thinks that a next door neighbor is playing tricks on him. Yet the salesman isn't sure if anyone is occupying the rooms near him. His friend then jokes that the room he is in might be haunted. The salesman doesn't think much of this and decides to go to bed. However, later that night, he is woken up by someone knocking at his door. Though this time, he fails to capture anything on camera as the knocking stopped when he started recording. But he was now more determined than ever to catch whoever it was that was playing with him. The next day, as he waits patiently for the knocks to occur, this happens.
Once again, there is no one at the door. He checks both ends of the hallway, but not a single person is in sight. It is at this point that the salesman questions his sanity. But just when things could get more creepy, something else happens that has left him completely spooked.
Once again, there is no one at the door. He checks both ends of the hallway, but not a single person is in sight. It is at this point that the salesman questions his sanity. But just when things couldn't get any more creepy, something else happens that has left him completely spooked. The following night, he is woken up once again by mysterious knockings, but this time, something far more unexplainable happens.
After checking again to find no one at the door, the salesman turns around and sees all doors completely open. Naturally, he was in total shock. He was now convinced the room he had booked is actually haunted. Perhaps his friend was right after all. Something.
After checking again to find no one at the door, the salesman turns around and sees all doors inside open. Naturally, he was in total shock. He was now convinced that the room he had booked is actually haunted. Perhaps his friend was right after all. Something is inside this room. It's what happens the following night though that leaves him beyond terrified. On the 6th night of his quarantine, he decides to use his PC camera to capture anything that may occur inside his room. The camera is left recording as he goes to bed. And to no surprise, he is woken up by someone knocking at his door. But As he walks over to the entrance, the salesman immediately notices something odd. The knocking doesn't appear to be coming from outside, but rather from inside his room.
Upon opening the door, he finds no one there. The salesman is at a loss for words. He is now sure that whatever is going on is beyond explanation. Now, it's a good thing the salesman had set up a second camera, as the following incident would have gone unnoticed.
Upon opening the door, he finds no one there. The salesman is at a loss for words. He is now sure that whatever is going on is beyond explanation. Now, it's a good thing the salesman had set up a second camera, as the following incident would have gone unnoticed. During the time he's inside the bathroom, a bottle falls on its own. If you look closely, you can see the bottle move slowly towards the edge before falling over. Like with all occurrences, this one has left him baffled. Luckily though, the salesman won't be staying here any longer, as the next day will be the end of his quarantine. To this day, he can't think of anything that could explain what happened in that room. The salesman thinks that the room might be haunted. But, like most videos, it's hard to be sure if that's the case. It's not certain if this whole incident was just a setup, or actual paranormal evidence. Until it's made clear as to what exactly happened, you be the judge on whether or not something paranormal occurred. For more info on this video, you can check out the channel Fourth Wall, where other paranormal clips can be found.
What happens next is pretty terrifying. This is what he caught.
In this next video, a man is hiking in a secluded forest when he stumbles upon a small house that seems to be abandoned. After hesitating at first, he later decides to get close to the property. What happens next is pretty terrifying. This is what he caught.
Fanas.
It appears that the house wasn't abandoned after all, yet it's unknown as to who or even what had been inside. Whether it was the owner of the house or something else, there's no denying has left the man completely disturbed. Maybe next time he'll think.
It appears that the house wasn't abandoned after all, yet it's unknown as to who or even what had been inside. Whether it was the owner of the house or something else, there's no denying that whoever or whatever this was has left the man completely disturbed. Maybe next time he'll think twice before entering a house in the middle of a forest. This next video comes from a man named Chris Hill, who you might recall from a previous video. From exploring abandoned places to seeing things that he can't explain, Chris has had his fair share of creepy occurrences, but his most recent exploration may just be the creepiest. Like most places, Chris visits an abandoned warehouse at an undisclosed location. Inside, there are plenty of empty crates lying around and lots of debris. Although mostly empty, he can't help but feel a certain presence inside this building. Small critters might have made this place their home, but to Chris, it seems that something else is living inside. Feeling a little terrified, he searches all around and finds nothing. But here's where things start to get really creepy. As Chris continues to explore the place, he finds a small staircase that leads him to the floor below. He takes it and finds a room with many doorways. One of them, however, leads to a narrow passage that seemingly has no end. Chris enters the passage, but immediately notices something strange.
It's noticeably colder in here. What the hell? If you stand right here, it's kind of warm. Like normal temperature. But as soon as you go in here, it gets cold. That is creepy as hell. Whoa, that is weird. That is weird. Like, I'm not joking on it. What was that? It's noticeably colder in here. Wow. This is gonna be creepy.
Chris has no idea as to why there's a sudden change in temperature upon entering inside. Confused and scared, he walks further into the passage, not sure where it would lead. He eventually arrives at an area that is more spacious and emptier. However, it is during this time when things take a dark turn. He goes in and sets up a few cameras before exploring the whole space. One camera in particular is an infrared camera that is able to record in real time. When he's done setting up all the cameras, he continues to explore the site, but unbeknownst to him, this is captured.
Still gotta go down there too. Did you hear that? That was loud. What the hell? What the f*** was that? What the f*** was that noise? Sounded like something fell.
Had it not been for the second camera, this would have been missed. A mist-like figure can be seen approaching Chris from a distance before reaching him. Eerily enough, Chris turns around as soon as the figure gets to him. And, as if that wasn't creepy enough, a strange-like figure in the corner can be seen peeping at the camera. Chris has no clue as to what this could have been, but viewers can't help but think that this might have been some supernatural creature that was spying on Chris. Whatever it might have been, he is certain that he won't be coming back to this place ever again. With all that's happened, one can't help but ask, what exactly had been spying on Chris? You might recall from a previous video about a woman named Lauren Combs who lives in a house in the middle of nowhere. Ever since moving in, she can't shake the feeling that something is haunting her. Lauren tries her best to ignore this feeling, but there have been countless instances of her dog Luna seeing things that she can't, and many other strange occurrences that are thought to be paranormal in nature. Although most of these incidents are pretty spooky, it's the most recent video that was captured that is by far the most unsettling. It's close to midnight when the following takes place inside Lauren's living room. Lauren writes, "Ignoring it is out of the question now. I'm just going to document what I can and start to reach out to people that can come help." This is her footage. Strangely, Lauren's dog begins to whimper before an object falls on its own. It's almost as though her dog had sensed the strange activity that was about to ensue. Following that, a doorbell starts to go off on its own, but the footage outside shows no one at the door. Now, as many viewers have stated, opening the door may not have been a good idea, as according to them, whatever was ringing the doorbell is now inside the house. Although it isn't sure if something was let in, the following incident seems to suggest otherwise. It's 3 in the morning when suddenly this happens.
Because my service thinks that I won. I gave you 6 points, I'm deducting 7. This is ridiculous. Don't make me think about numbers again. A brave and accurate decision. Yes, my captain. Yes. Yeah, holy captain, your horticulture is harvestable. Good for all things. Hurry happily and thank these hungry. Hallelujah.
All of a sudden, Lauren's hair is pulled by something. At first, Lauren thought that her cat had done this, but upon looking all around, she noticed that her cat wasn't there. As one would imagine, she was left beyond spooked. The activity in her home seems to be getting worse, and it seems that she isn't getting much help to solve this problem. But of course, what are your thoughts? Is Lauren being haunted by something? Or is something else going on here? An anonymous individual named S had broken into a house that is said to be haunted. The residents of this place no longer live on the property, as according to sources, they had gone missing. The husband and wife who lived here mysteriously disappeared. No one knows what happened to the couple, but it's rumored that something terrible occurred. It was after their disappearance, however, that a family member shared surveillance footage from inside the couple's house. This footage was taken from the couple's security cameras, and it shows things that occurred before they went missing. Overall though, the footage is pretty creepy to say the least. Take a look at these clips and see what you think. Although pretty creepy, it wasn't scary enough to deter someone from breaking inside. An anonymous individual named S had seen the footage and decided to check out the property for himself. Little did he know, this was a bad idea. He breaks into the property by entering through a window on the 2nd floor. He goes in and immediately feels uneasy. This is what he caught.
It was only after the mysterious knocking had stopped that the intruder looked to the side and saw what appeared to be a shadowy figure peeping from down the hall. It seems to be observing him before creeping away from sight. Not sure if he was just seeing things. He walks over to where the figure was seen.
It was only after the mysterious knocking had stopped that the intruder looked to the side and saw what appeared to be a shadowy figure peeping from down the hall. It seems to be observing him before creeping away from sight. Not sure if he was just seeing things, he walks over to where the figure was seen, but eerily finds nothing there. Now, it wasn't until posting this video that viewers had noticed something odd about the figure. After being spotted by the intruder, it moves in such a way that seems very unnatural. It almost appears to be floating or even sliding away from view. Just like the surveillance footage from earlier, viewers find this video baffling. But there has yet to be more footage posted. Until then, we'll have to base our judgment on the evidence currently at hand. Doubtless, this video is pretty spooky. The following video shows a real estate agent showcasing a property on camera when something pretty creepy is caught on tape. The footage comes from a YouTube channel owned by a real estate broker named Santiago Sanchez, who's been uploading videos of homes that are up for sale. By filming these properties and putting them on his channel, Santiago has been able to sell most homes. But out of all the houses he's filmed, there's one in particular that he doubts will ever be sold. On June 15 of 2015, Santiago had posted a video unlike any other he's posted before. The video starts off with him standing in front of a house, seeming a bit scared, as he tells us that the owner had warned him not to go inside unless he thought it was necessary.
Me han dicho, no entres, pero si quieres ir a grabarla, puedes grabar el vídeo, pero ten mucho cuidado, no salte de la casa rápido. Casi me voy a atrever a entrar y este es el vídeo.
According to the owner, he and his family had promptly left the house late one evening after experiencing strange activity for months. Ever since then, the house has been empty. Now, it wasn't until weeks later that the family had reached out to Santiago asking for his help in selling their property. Although a house like this is hard to sell, he still showcased the property on the off chance that someone might still buy it. But little does he know that something downright creepy would happen while being inside. Upon entering the house, he smells a strong, foul odor that seems to linger throughout the property. He then walks over to the kitchen and sees that a colony of ants has taken over the sink. Now, according to the owner, there have been sudden infestations of flies and other insects throughout the house, which Santiago finds very odd. Although strange, it isn't as unusual as what happens later in the video. Have a look.
No tenía por qué haber ningún tipo de insectos. Estamos en la cocina. Se puede ver cómo ellos vaciaron toda la cocina rápidamente para irse corriendo. Está todo abierto. No han vuelto por esta casa. Yo no sé qué decir, pero pueden ver todavía pertenencias. Es raro. Esto nunca se lo llevaron. No quiero alejarme mucho de la puerta, la verdad. Oh, esto está horrible, este lado. No sé cómo puede estar tan horrible en poco tiempo. Una de las cosas que noto es que hay un olor que está horrible, como podrido.
Santiago then proceeds to go inside a bedroom that has a hidden closet. The owner states that his family has felt a certain presence inside this closet and has kept it shut for the longest time, until recently. Feeling a bit spooked, he heads on over to the other rooms, where he begins to feel even more uneasy. What happens then has left him baffled.
Aquí pueden observar dónde estaba el master bedroom, la habitación principal. Pueden ver que todavía hay cosas, pero pueden ver cómo rápidamente cogieron toda la ropa y se marcharon. Pueden ver ahí todas las perchas. Rápidamente sacaron toda la ropa, la cargaron en el coche y desaparecieron. Dejaron bastantes cosas detrás de ellos. Hay un olor extraño, como podrido, en este área de la casa. Este es el otro cuarto, pueden observar. Todavía hay cosas, pertenencias. Bastante raro. Ahora lo que vamos a hacer va a ser aquí en la pared. Hay unas marcas en la casa, en varias áreas. Es como serían marcas, uñas de alguien que ha raspado, o definitivamente son algo raro que están rayadas las paredes en varias áreas. Esa es la ok. Bueno, esta es la parte de arriba. Es extraño, la verdad. Este es el otro hay ruidos en la casa, puedo decir, hay ruidos. Ahí hay unos ruidos que estoy oyendo, como unos clac, clac. Es muy extraño. Y esto es lo que es la casa. Estas personas estuvieron aquí viviendo unos 2-3 años y me llamaron, dijeron que la tuvieron que abandonar porque definitivamente algo raro estaba ocurriendo. Cuando abandonaron la casa, no la abandonaron a las 2 de la mañana, después de que ocurrió, según ellos, cosas muy raras. Pero bueno, yo he querido venir, grabar el vídeo y ver, un poquito, de todo lo que está ocurriendo en esta casa. Yo no creo, pero bueno, esta es la casa. Es muy, muy interesante. Y mejor me voy saliendo ya de la casa, pero otra vez, si necesitan comprar una casa, siempre miren el historial de las casas. Es muy importante, ¿ok?
The chair, without warning, rocks on its own. It is at this point that Santiago decides to leave the premises while trying to keep calm by talking more about the property. The sudden infestation of flies, ants, and other insects, plus the markings on the walls, as well as the foul odor throughout the home, have led viewers to believe that the house is haunted. And of course, the chair moving on its own was enough to convince them that something paranormal had occurred. But as always, I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusion. For now, this video remains a total mystery. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. This next video was suggested by Armando Caesar, who says he has no idea where this video originally came from. The source is unknown. But after doing a bit of research, he was able to gather some info on the footage. According to Armando, the woman in this video is a house cleaner who's been cleaning an extremely old house for years. She usually comes at night to clean the place, and almost every night while being there, she swears that she can hear voices and footsteps from the floor above, even though no one else is inside the home. One evening, the cleaning lady's friends dare her to clean the house, but with the lights off, and to record whatever happens. Although hesitant at first, she took the dare, thinking it would be a great idea, as she would prove to her friends that she's not crazy and the house is actually haunted. But she would later come to realize that this was actually a bad idea. It's late at night, the lights are off, and the woman is at this place. This is what was captured.
Have I to really cope there? What? What? God. Can't scare me, you bastard, I'm coming. For Alan. To prove that it is top at banister. Hello, Pauline, I'm shitting myself. Sounds like there's something in that bedroom. I'm up to the top of the stairs. Top of the... Oh. I can hear a noise in the background, but it's in that cupboard, and it is the airing cupboard. So that's where the boiler is, and it sounds like it's just, someone's just come up at the back of me. F***ing door! Bollocks! Now I want to go back down now. Right, I've just shut door. I've just shut door. Bed, I'm going to sit on the foot. I daren't move. Do you know if I went me said? I want to go down.
Now, normally anyone who encounters something like this would flee from the house immediately, but it seems that the cleaning lady was feeling pretty brave that night. However, if it wasn't for the following incident, this video would have been a lot longer. What happens next, before heading downstairs, has left her completely shook. This is what she caught.
Open the door for me, please. I have just seen something. I have just seen something. Right, that's it. I'm off down. I can't take no more. I am off frigging down.
A loud bang comes from one of the rooms, at which the woman points the camera and captures something by the door. It happens real fast, but if you slow the footage and pause at the right time, you can see what appears to be a palish looking figure peeping at the woman from behind the door. Eerily enough, it seems to have been standing there even before the camera points at it. It is at this point that the woman has seen enough and decides to call it a night. Now, with all that's happened in this video, one can't help but think if something paranormal had truly occurred. If so, then the dare she took proved to be successful. Yet, not much info is given on the video to prove that it's either real or fake, so it's up to you to come up with your own conclusion. As is often the case with videos like this, what happened that night remains a total mystery.
That neither she nor her family could explain. In 2009, Donna's brother had passed away due to
The following video comes from Donna Ayres, who can't help but feel that something is haunting her. According to Donna, there have been strange happenings inside her home that neither she nor her family could explain. In 2009, Donna's brother had passed away due to unknown reasons, but ever since his death, Donna has been feeling very scared. Objects inside her house move by themselves, which seems to happen whenever Donna is present. While some believe that her brother's ghost is responsible for the unusual activity, as it might be a sign of him reaching out to her, Donna believes that something else is inside her home. Something very malicious. One night, while being home alone, Donna sees the following and begins to record. This is what she captured.
That's not me, is it, with the camera? Hang on, guys, I'm just going to get a better view because this is amazing. I'm just going to turn the light up a bit as well. If that's you, please move it again. That is moving.
Strangely, the chandelier moves on its side.
Oh my god, that is moving.
Back and forth before the video comes to an end. Like with most
Oh,
occurrences,
thank you.
This one has left her spooked. But this wouldn't be the only occurrence caught on camera, as something way more creepy is captured.
Strangely, the chandelier moves on its own. It gently sways back and forth before the video comes to an end. Like with most occurrences, this one has left her spooked. But this wouldn't be the only occurrence caught on camera, as something way more creepy is captured. A few days after the previous incident, Donna is in her kitchen when out of nowhere, she notices one of her mugs moving on its own. She immediately begins to record and captures this.
As you can see, just so you lot don't think I'm crazy, I'm not going too close because I get launched at, but there's nothing under there. That's just a bracket from an old drawer that used to be there. There's nothing in the cupboard, it's just cutlery and stuff. Nothing under there apart from pots and pans. There's no magnets, that's just a switch. There's nothing there at all. Nothing out of the ordinary, but yeah, keeps moving. Can you move it again, please? If you're here, move it. If you're here. Yeah. I'll just show you as well. There's nothing underneath, there's nothing. It's just an old metal cup. Metal. Oh my gosh. The surface isn't wet or anything, it's all dry. So there's no reason for it to be moving.
If there was nothing below the counter that could have been moving the cup, then how was it doing this on its own? As with all other occurrences Donna has seen, she believes that something supernatural had done this. Although not sure what exactly had moved the cup, the same paranormal entity is thought to be responsible for the following incident. But unlike other incidents, this one has got to be the creepiest. At the start of the video, Donna is informing us of a strange incident involving her toy fish tank, which we can see in the video. But while telling us what happened, something pretty creepy is captured. We can hear Donna's dog reacting to this odd occurrence as it happens.
But yeah, that's basically the new tank. I'll just keep it in the background and then you can see around. But just strange feelings. Almost like you can feel the dark entity that's here, and it's almost like a pressure around you. And the only thing you can do is record it so people see it, rather than just say it and no one see what's happening at the same time of what's going on. So, yeah. I don't know if you can see it. They're certainly acting a bit weird. See, it's so strange. See, I can feel there's something here right now. And yet I don't. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, it's bringing tears to my eyes, because no one gets it. My chain's moving on my neck.
Mysteriously, her necklace appears to be tugged by something. It is at this point that she's seen enough to be brought to tears by this incident. Now it's worth mentioning that Donna had played with a Ouija board prior to one of these incidents. She believes that this might have worsened the activity in her home, but isn't sure if that's the reason. Viewers beg to differ, but as always, I'll let you be the judge as to whether or not something paranormal is happening. Are all of these events indicative of something supernatural, or is something else going on here?
Out of all things encountered, there's one incident that is by far the creepiest.
This next video features a family of 3 who lives in a house that they believe is haunted. The family has experienced many strange occurrences inside this house, but out of all things encountered, there's one incident that is by far the creepiest. The following is the video they took. The video begins with the father of the family who's recording what appears to be a small pool for children. According to him, his son Rowan was playing with mom inside the pool when he points to the house and says that he could see a man in the window.
And right there in that room, that's where Rowan said that he saw a man inside there. And he sat in the pool right here, and he sat there staring up. And he said, "That's a man." And he kept looking in there and said, "There's a man in there." So
if no one had been inside, then who or what did Rowan see? Rowan's mother states that she was creeped out by her son's comment, but it's what happened later that day that creeped her out the most. After playing in the pool, they both go inside to dry up, when Rowan walks over to the dining room where the figure was seen and stares at something for a very long time. Unsure as to what he was seeing, she asked him if there was something there, to which he nodded and said, "I could see a man with big black hair." He also says that he looks like an airplane, which neither of his parents could understand. But then, after telling us this story, the father goes on to record his son and ask him more questions about this man.
He hurt his brain? And then what happened? Did he say anything?
As most children do. But what happens later in the video? His butt. This is what was caught.
He hurt his butt? Do you have anything else to add?
Now it could be the case that he's just saying whatever comes to mind, as most children do. But what happens later in the video has left both parents baffled. This is what was caught.
Well, do you have anything else to add? He apparently sees a man in there.
That's a big man.
That's a big man?
The father captures footage of his son, who appears to be seeing something.
is he there? What's he look like?
He's an airplane.
He always says that. He looks
like an airplane.
There's another man.
He's a black man.
He's a black man? Okay, he's a black man. Right?
As you might have guessed, the parents can't help but think their child has seen a ghost. Now it could
After giving another detail about the man, he walks over to the dining room and sits at the entrance. He then points to the corner and says that he could see the man standing right there. As you might have guessed, the parents can't help but think that their child has seen a ghost. Now it could be that their son has an overactive imagination and are therefore mistaking an imaginary friend for a ghost. Yet, the following day, the father makes a shocking discovery that may dispel this notion. Take a look.
Hi. I just wanted to say that this is the next day after Rowan's been telling us about that ghost that he saw, and we just realized he's been telling us a black man was in here with big hair, with big black hair, and he was in this room. And we didn't know, but we were looking around and we found out that this piece of little furniture, this thing my mom gave us, and we found it in the corner. It's called a unity carving. See? And it's carved from one piece of wood. And look at this that we found on it, and we didn't even know. But speaking of Ghana is in Africa. So this is, and we looked up, it's made from all one piece of wood. It's like this artistic thing that, it's like hard to make or whatever, and they probably get paid very little, which is why they're able to resell these for fairly cheap in the United States. But we think maybe the person who crafted it was the ghost or something. or connected to this, the person connected to this thing was the ghost. Okay, so we just thought I'd add that tidbit in. Okay.
What are your thoughts on this? Is the piece responsible for the man that Rowan sees? Or is it all due to an overactive imagination? Feel free to share what you think.
Known as Laura's Kitchen. The channel itself is solely based on cooking homemade meals, which
During a live stream on YouTube, something pretty creepy was caught on camera. The two people in this video are a mother and her son who were shooting a live video on their YouTube channel known as Laura's Kitchen. The channel itself is solely based on cooking homemade meals, which Laura films herself doing. From videos about making deviled eggs to showing how to make a Dutch cucumber salad, there's not a single video on this channel about anything paranormal, which makes this video even more believable. As Laura and her son were live streaming on their channel, something very strange happened. Ever since then, they can't shake the feeling that their house is haunted. After 24 minutes into the live stream, Laura is telling a story when all of a sudden, the following happens.
At the back door, the dog had to pee, and there's a button that says pee pee by the back door. And I'm like, wow, you know, it's been quiet. Oscar has not bothered me all day. This is great. I think he's finally over this, right? So I said to the dog, hit the button. You want to go pee pee? Hit the button. So he hits the button, and it goes, your mom's dead. What the? What was that? So, anyways. Nothing's right. Sorry, it's moving too fast. That's strange. The cabinet behind you just opened and closed on its own. What? Is that what that was? Ah! What was that? Ah!
What the hell?
It's right there. Pick it all up. Holy shit.
Yeah, that cup just shattered.
Oh my god, I'm really scared right now. That is garbage. Do you want to end it?
It was only after a viewer of the live stream had told them about the cabinet that they realized the source of the sound.
Oh my god,
It was
guys,
then
I'm
later
sorry.
that more activity had occurred. Now, what's even more
Hold
strange
on,
about
let me
this
just say
is
goodbye.
that earlier in the live stream, Laura had been talking about her dead mother. Who had
It was only after a viewer of the live stream had told them about the cabinet that they realized the source of the sound. It was then later that more activity had occurred. Now what's even more strange about this is that earlier in the live stream, Laura had been talking about her dead mother who had passed away 20 years ago. Based on the footage, viewers believe that her deceased mother might be responsible for the strange activity. But of course, as with most videos, it's not certain if something paranormal was accountable for this. Doubtless, this odd occurrence has left Laura and her son terrified. But what do you think? Had something paranormal been caught on camera? Or is there some other explanation for this?
recently moved into a new home with her small daughter. Ever since moving in, she's noticed that her daughter has been talking
A mother hides a camera inside her daughter's bedroom and ends up capturing something pretty creepy. Now the video itself comes from Leo Lourdes, the mother in question, who recently moved into a new home with her small daughter. Ever since moving in, she's noticed that her daughter has been talking to an imaginary friend. Although it's normal for young children to have make-believe friends, there's something about this imaginary friend that doesn't sit well with Leo.
Hey, so we are just moving in. It's such a mess, I'm sorry, but we're moving into this old house. And my daughter has been talking to an imaginary friend, except for it feels really real. Obviously, it's an imaginary friend, but it's been weirding me out. And I'm wondering if something is triggering it or why it's happening. So I put this camera down and I'm just gonna let it run and we'll see.
Curious as to what goes on inside her daughter's bedroom when she's not around, Leo places a camera on a stand and lets her record 24/7. At first, nothing strange is captured, but then, one night, after having dinner, Leo's daughter goes to her bedroom and plays with her so-called imaginary friend. What was captured has left Leo disturbed. Take a look.
Hey guys, this is what the camera picked up, captured, whatever, a couple nights ago. And I'm freaked out. I really don't know what to make of this.
It looks beautiful and funny. What are you guys doing? Do you want to play? Do you want to? Do you want to sleep? Come on, focus.
Somehow, the door opens on its own. Seeming confused and scared, Leo's daughter carefully walks out of the room. The strangest part about this, though, is the audio of the footage. If you listen closely, you can hear what sounds like a deep, rumbling noise coming out of nowhere. It happens right as the door opens by itself. Because of this, Leo thinks that whatever had opened the door was making this noise. But to her, it seems that her daughter's imaginary friend might have something to do with this. She has yet to figure out what exactly occurred that night, but for now, the question remains, was something paranormal actually caught on camera? Or could something else explain this?
Suggesting that something might actually be there. This next video is just as creepy as
If there's one thing that makes a video twice as creepy, it's children staring at something that can't be seen. But even more unsettling is when something near them suddenly moves on its own, suggesting that something might actually be there. This next video is just as creepy as the one described. Jamie Primack Sullivan is a mother whose daughter, who at the time of this recording, was acting very strange. According to Jamie, almost every night after tucking her daughter into bed, she would catch her staring off at something in the corner of her room, even though there was clearly nothing there, except for darkness. Although creeped out by this common occurrence, it's the following incident that freaks out Jamie the most. Jamie and her daughter Charlie are filming themselves inside their home after going out for dinner. They vlog about their day and eventually start talking about people in their family. However, when Charlie brings up Jamie's deceased grandmother in the conversation, things take a chilling turn. Watch.
But where's your grandma?
Where is my grandma?
Heaven.
Do you remember my grandma? Where is my grandma? Where is she?
Up in heaven. What did she do to make her go up in heaven? Did she do a smoker?
No, she didn't do a smoker. She was just very old. She was almost 93, and her body just got very tired. She was too old.
Was she, did you grandma almost couldn't walk?
She was old. She could walk, but she was old. Okay?
Mommy, your grandma's here. And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
What?
Your grandma's here. And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
Now, Jamie adds that her grandmother had called her Jamila growing up, and that there's no way that her daughter could have known this, as she was never told about her nickname. Considering Charlie's odd behavior, such as saying things that aren't there, among other strange incidents, there's no doubting that Jamie was deeply unsettled by this. Just how exactly did Charlie know of her mom's nickname that was given by her grandma, who's been dead for years? While some think that Charlie could have been in contact with the spirit of her deceased great-grandmother, others aren't really sure what to make of this. But whether or not people believe her, Jamie is convinced that someone, or something, had made contact with her child. To this day, she isn't sure how exactly her daughter knew about her nickname.
A friend or relative is watching the woman on the monitor when they notice something odd about the footage.
This next video shows a woman who appears to be very sick. The person recording claims that she might be on her deathbed. If that's so, then this video just got a whole lot interesting. A friend or relative is watching the woman on the monitor when they notice something odd about the footage. Upon looking closely, they see the following.
What the f is that? It's like something touching her. What the hell is that?
What looks to be an arm reaching out to the woman on her supposed deathbed can be seen on camera. It reaches out as though whatever this is trying to comfort the sick woman. Some viewers have theorized that this might be the ghost of a loved one who is still looking after their partner from beyond the grave. Although pretty wholesome, it is solely a belief. Yet most viewers can't help but think this. But of course, what do you think? Had the ghost of a loved one paid a visit to this woman? Or is there a possible explanation for the ghostly arm? Feel free to let me know what you think down below.
Who seems very excited over the fact that the camera on which this video had been recorded is finally...
It's worth noting that the following video features a doll. So if you plan on sleeping tonight, you'll probably want to skip this one. The video starts off with a child who seems very excited over the fact that the camera on which this video had been recorded is finally working after failing to turn on for a while. Enthused that the camera is now functioning, the child excitedly tells her mother about this while recording her. The child then goes on to tell their sister about this. However, it's what happens next that has left many viewers disturbed. Watch.
Mami, mira, ya aprendí a grabar, voltea. Sí. Oh, Jasmine, ya aprendí a grabar, nana. Ay, me quedé, me quedé. Voltea. Voltea. Ay, voltea.
All of a sudden, what appears to be a doll's head turns around on its own. Even more unsettling is that it turned its head seemingly at the request of the child, who kept asking to turn around and look at the camera. For this reason, viewers find this video to be evidence of something paranormal. It isn't obvious how the mannequin's head moved on its own, but as always, I'll let you come up with your own explanations. What was it exactly that made the doll's head move?
His daughter is woken up by something. Her reaction can be heard on camera.
The following video was posted by a Reddit user whose family has been experiencing strange activity at home. One night, as both he and his family are asleep, his daughter is woken up by something. Her reaction can be heard on camera. Take a look. According to the daughter, she had seen a shadowy figure inside her room, causing her to react the way she did. She further adds that around the same time, her small radio had turned on by itself. Given all that occurred, one can understand why she was totally freaked out and why the family was shaken up. But this hadn't been the only incident that scared them, as something far more strange had taken place a few weeks prior. It's 3 in the morning when this happens.
But for now, these 2 videos have left the family scratching their heads as they can't think of anything to explain them.
An unusual sound can be heard coming out of nowhere. The father says he has no idea as to where the sound came from, but whatever it was, it definitely spooked them. But for now, these 2 videos have left the family scratching their heads as they can't think of anything to explain them. Now the following video barely has any information. Where exactly this video had come from is unknown, as the original source is a total mystery. All that is known is that it was found by someone online who reposted the video. In it, a small child is seen lying at a doorway when something pretty baffling happens. Take a look. According to viewers, it seems that the child was either kicked or pushed by an unseen force. Even before it happens, they seem to be scared of something, as though they are trying to get away from whoever or whatever is inside this room. The lack of info and the unknown source of this video makes it hard to determine if it's paranormal or not. For now, it remains a mystery until more info is brought forth. An indoor home security camera captures something pretty creepy on footage. Not much info is given on this video, but it still speaks for itself. A child is walking through a kitchen when suddenly they stop to look at something. What happens next is beyond strange. Take a look. The child, without warning, stops in their tracks and stares at something as though someone were blocking their path. They then have a conversation with who or whatever it was that they were seeing. Now, the possibility of this being a child with an overactive imagination isn't ruled out, but the way in which they interact with this supposed imaginary friend is what frightens the mother of this child. Rosie B., the mother in question, thinks that this may have been a ghost or some otherworldly entity that was forcefully trying to take away her daughter's toys. But even more unsettling is the fact that when Rosie asked her daughter as to who she was talking to, she responded by saying that it was a little girl and a little boy. Overall though, this video is quite strange. The mother has yet to find out the history of her home, as she thinks this might explain this odd occurrence. But until then, this video remains a mystery.
Every so often, her cats would do things that would make her question whether or not they were children in their past lives.
A woman is alone at home when something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following video comes from a woman who lives alone with her 2 cats. Every so often, her cats would do things that would make her question whether or not they were children in their past lives. To her, it feels as though she's living with kids. Given how much she loves her cats, she buys a camera to see what they do when she's away from home. the camera she gets has an auto-tracking feature, which basically means that the camera points to wherever it senses movement, tracking wherever the cats go. Although recording everything they do, it seems that buying the camera was a bad idea, as ever since having it, it's been capturing things that are scaring her. The following are just some of the things that happen when she's away from home. Take a look.
From strange noises that come out of nowhere by the camera, the woman is beyond spooked. Now, it's not only when she's gone that strange things happen. There have been countless instances when something unexplainable occurred while being at home. On one occasion,
From strange noises that come out of nowhere to unseen forces that are picked up by the camera, the woman is beyond spooked. Now, it's not only when she's gone that strange things happen. There have been countless instances when something unexplainable occurred while being at home. On one occasion, the woman is in the kitchen when all of a sudden, an object on her shelf just launches off on its own. But creepiest of all is when one day, while sitting on the couch, this happened.
the woman is certain that there was no draft when this happened, as according to her, the whole was sealed just tight enough to prevent any airflow from outside. Given that this has never happened before, she finds this very unusual. Sadly enough, it's incidents like this.
The woman is certain that there was no draft when this happened, as according to her, the whole apartment is sealed just tight enough to prevent any airflow from outside. Given that this has never happened before, she finds this very unusual. Sadly enough, it's incidents like this, among many others, that's been causing her a lot of anguish, as she doesn't know what to do to stop this. Whatever it might be that's going on, it's taking a toll on her mental health. Out of all occurrences, one in particular has pushed her to take action by seeking help from others. The incident is nonetheless pretty creepy. This is what was caught.
C'est passé quoi? Stop, viens. Attends. Viens. Connard. Espèce de connard. Viens. Laisse cette putain de porte tranquille maintenant. Non, non, c'est fini. Viens. C'est moi. C'est moi, regarde. C'est moi. Regarde. Viens. C'est moi, t'inquiète pas. C'est rien, hein? Vas-y, éclate-toi, maman. Vas-y, ferme cette putain de porte, vas-y. Ça vient, maman, ça vient, viens. C'est moi, n'aie pas peur. N'aie pas peur, c'est moi. Non. C'est rien, ma vie. Viens. Viens. Viens là. Viens.
Once again, the door just somehow moves on its own. Even the cat appears to be scared as it quickly jumps off the bed after sensing something wrong. It quickly rushes out of the doorway as to avoid being crushed by the door. Naturally, the woman was left shaken up. If no draft had caused this, then how did it close on its own? As with previous incidents, she can't seem to explain this. But like always, you be the judge as to whether or not something paranormal occurred. Is this woman actually experiencing paranormal activity? Or is something else going on here? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.
Looking for a spectacular new way to decorate for Halloween or any spooky occasion? Then feast your eyes on Atmosphere FX's Ghostly Apparitions, a frightfully entertaining collection of restless spirits that are just dying to inhabit your home. Easily haunt your TV or monitor with this ghoulish gathering of spooky specters. Or for added scares, use a video projector to show off all the paranormal activity on any wall or window. Our digital decorations are easy to use. Customize your experience from a simple DVD menu and press play. Then watch with spine-tingling wonder as the apparitions materialize out of thin air. Float through hallways. Pass through walls. And startle your unsuspecting guests. Turn any environment into a thrilling, haunting experience with Ghostly Apparitions. Pick up your copy today.